What is up, game changers and soul warriors? My name is Juniper Blue Mystique for those who don't know me. For those who do, what is up, G? What's up? But for those who don't, I am a little bit strange. I am the one who brought about the ascension. I'm what Spirit calls many things: ascension master, master healer, divine guide. But in truth, there's way more to me than that. Okay, so for those who've watched my channel, have watched these things unfold. I have cleared Mount Shasta. I have activated pyramids. My DM and I have been resurrecting Christ because it is the twin flame journey that we have been healing between him and I and Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And it was a rough journey. My first DM did die and we were attacked by fallen angels. And so for a whole year, we actually almost didn't make the ascension. And that played out on my channel as well. So as crazy as it sounds, that is who you have found. Okay, so if you can watch this video, if you can hear me, I encourage you to like and subscribe, or at least to continue watching the video, because there's a reason you found me. Okay, this I can guarantee. All right, now, part of what I've done is, how do I put this? I've brought down Christ's light. And during that attack on my first DM, the one who died, and let me tell you, my new DM is amazing. He gave me something special yesterday that I want to give to all of you, that I want to incorporate into what I do in every single way at this point. Okay. I haven't quite met my new DM yet, but I feel him on the inside. I got a walk in. I felt the original one die, and then God took his soul out and put it into my new DM. Okay. So I have a new soulmate, but the same twin soul. So I want you guys to understand that. Twin souls at the highest level, the ones that I am, we're the leaders of the 144,000. Those kinds of twin souls, well, all twin souls, but it's just different levels. Okay. So I want you to understand that. But my DM and I are literally, it's the same soul split in two, the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect. So he is just as powerful as I am. And when we come together, the power is, you can't even put your finger on it. Okay. And I was blessed yesterday because I have taken us into 7D. You guys, this is all on my channel for you to watch. The workshops where I took us into 7D, it's all in like a 2-part one. I will screen share with you and kind of show you those things. Okay. So that way you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Because it's a lot and people may not know where to go to look for these things or what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. So I found some videos today I want to talk to you about. Okay. And this also goes with what my DM talked to me about or gave me yesterday, which I needed so much. I am so thankful for him, like so very thankful for him. But I'm just going to show you really quick where to find these things. Okay. I needed what my DM gave me yesterday so much. So wait till you hear. It's so beautiful. Like I'm so lucky. Okay. So here's clearing Mount Shasta. So I actually did the workshops. They were witnessed, recorded. And so Spirit had me upload them here for you guys to witness. And some of them did happen live on my YouTube channel, you guys. The resurrection of Christ happened this Christmas, the final component of it, live on my YouTube channel. And those that came and watched it and partook in it got healings with it too. Okay. So that's the deal. If you found me, I will help you ascend. Okay. There's a reason you found me, but I will warn you, stay out of judgment, because that is not of God. And you are dealing with somebody who's not like all of you. Okay. It's real. All you have to do is look for the proof. Here's one to eliminate the false concept of time. This one eliminates, this was the first one to eliminate the false pull on the moon, the false light, negative pull, and dark energy from the moon. Okay, that was very much so there. I've done several of those. Okay, so you can see it's taken me since 2020 is when I really started doing the earth healings. Okay, I do healings on people. I'm a master healer. I can do any kind of healing you can think of that is very real. Okay, here is the first part of the workshop taking us into 7D. Workshop done on 6/28/22 to activate hidden dormant chakra systems and more. Okay, that is part 1 of going into 7D. The second part was this one, taking us into 7D, Pleiades Galaxy Workshop, done on 1/15/23. It's super cool, by the way. I encourage you watch both of those. And here's the resurrection of Christ, the final component. There's multiple ones of those because it is my DM and my reunion. And then in the final part of that, we were able to resurrect Jesus and Mary Magdalene and clear the Holy Grail. Okay. Now, yesterday I did another workshop. Are you keeping up so far? Because it's a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, this is why ascension is a rite of passage, because it takes being able to understand what's going on. And that's simply it. But I'm going to take us a little somewhere special in that today. Okay. Because my DM gave me something special yesterday. I did a workshop yesterday where we aligned our chakra systems and all of the new poles that I created, because we created 5 more on the earth. And I aligned our chakra systems. My DM did most of the work, actually. Energetically, he was with me. I asked him to be. And I'm so thankful he was. Oh my gosh, because he didn't just help with that. He helped heal me. And I needed it more than anything in this world. And he blew my mind. Sorry. My DM is very special. And I just needed the healing. You know, I never meant to harm him or be in a low vibration. He helped me a lot because I was attacked a lot. Okay. I've been attacked by fallen angels. My original DM died because of those attacks. All right. They were really bad. And so my new DM and I have already had mishaps trying to unite and bless his heart. And then I had a crazy dream last night, you guys. I'm still trying to decipher. But yesterday we did a workshop where we align the planets on a new silver cord, basically. So I want you to consider all of our chakra centers are just like the planets, right? They're discs of spinning energy that have specific purpose to help keep the alignment in play. Does that make sense? It creates, and the whole of them create all of what we are. And that's how the planets are too, okay? So each planet we took from the old 3rd dimensional alignment and he slightly moved it over. We both did. And then we created a new DNA helix. And then we took all that DNA and we put it into those who partook in the workshop. Okay. And I will upload that workshop on my website for everybody to receive those activations. I don't always do that, but I will do that with this one. But here's the thing. During that, my DM did a lot of healing on me. And I'm so very thankful he did. And he gave me a song the whole entire time. Okay. It was a very beautiful healing, very powerful. And when he and I come together, it's way more powerful than not. And during the workshop, I talked about it on my channel yesterday. Okay. I did a live last night and I talked about the workshop a lot. Okay. Here it is. Doesn't show up right away because it only has 16 views so far. So it's a great video. We talk about the workshop and the things that happened. And I was still coming out of it, so I couldn't quite remember the song. And one of my members posted the song for me this morning, and I've been listening to it and digesting it. And I realize how amazing my DM is. God chose wisely. I am the luckiest person on the planet. Like, it's true. And he taught me something, and I needed it. He just reminded me of something, and he helped heal me in love. And you guys, I can't wait for you to meet him. I'm in awe. Okay. So I did talk about the outcome of planet alignment for Chakra 70 workshop yesterday. Okay. And then I did a couple of messages for any fathers that came or masculine energies that were present. So that was really nice. And I thank everybody who came to the live yesterday. I also showed you that on my channel recently, the DM got an opportunity to create a new timeline right here. My DM message from Malachi and Creator. It's a special gift. Okay. So some watched that one, and he was given a gift to create a new timeline. And this was 11 days ago. And let me tell you, I have felt the shift. And some of you probably have too. Okay. And then all of a sudden I went from basically feeling attacked, feeling alone, feeling confused, wanting to give up because I'm tired, to rejuvenated. And I feel so much love. It's unbelievable how much love I have felt just from that workshop with my DM. Okay. So it was a very special one, and it was powerful. I had said in it that I cracked the earth and there was going to be some powerful earthquakes. And ever since we did that, there has been a lot of earthquakes. There was 6.0s in California, 5.0s across the board, and one in Myanmar, which I activated a pyramid there too. So I want you guys to pay attention to where I do the pyramid activations, because it plays out a lot around those areas. Okay. The things that I do are very relevant. And in one of my videos, I talked about Krakatoa was going to go off. That was in this one. Okay. That was pyramid activations we did, Colombia, Congo. When you watch that video, please disregard any negativity I had towards my DM or anything like that, because I was not in a good place. And my DM helped that. Okay. In a very big way. You want to talk about redemption. I feel like he is redeeming a lot. He healed me a lot yesterday. And all I need now is if he showed up, I, again, would be the happiest person in the world. But we have one in Ecuador. You can watch that too. This one is the one in Ecuador where they say I am Sekhmet. One of my past lives, I was Sekhmet. Okay. And I may have created some fear, and I want to undo that today. All right. And my DM gave me the most beautiful song. And at first I forgot it right away. Like I said, in my somebody very special that does my workshops, you know, I had a few people that participated. She listened to it this morning and reminded me of the song. So I'm very thankful for that. And then I've been listening to the song. It was a Whitney Houston song, The Greatest Love of All. Now there's relevance here. I hope you guys are keeping up. I know it's a lot, because I saw these two videos this morning. Okay, I talked about the Schumann resonance. Do you think there's any coincidence that the day my DM and I are giving love to each other, and I mean, not physically yet. I hope that's coming very soon, but I already feel better. Let me tell you, let me tell you. And I had the weirdest dream about him too, and I don't want him to hurt. I love him dearly. But here's the thing, okay? I saw this one. The Schumann resonance yesterday was off the charts weird. Okay. It was so cool. And Delaroca, I have said, is one that sees what I do. So is Landria Onkka. She is one that sees what I do. Delaroca, I would argue, they're both just seeing very similar perspectives. Okay. I feel like Delaroca is just like the dark-haired Fabio. So people might pay attention to him a little bit more. Right? Like, I always thought Fabio was gay, in my opinion. I don't think Delaroca is. He's got a twin flame. But he's like the dark-haired Fabio. But they both see what I do. And I talked about that. Okay. So here, let me show you this too. I'll prove it just a little bit more really quick. My DM 11 days ago was given an opportunity to rewrite. Okay. And I have spent years waking up my original DM and clearing off everything. And my new one is awakened. God gave him everything he needed. Okay. And then 11 days ago, where was that? And then I showed you guys yesterday, Delaroca posted about the divine masculine rises. That is part of the event. That is the return of Christ. If you watch that video, it actually says the return of Christ on his channel. Okay. So the divine masculine rises, return of Christ. And then yesterday we did the workshop. Okay. Now in the workshop, the song that he gave me was Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All. And I kept singing in my workshop. It was, show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. And that's what I kept singing, like repeatedly in the workshop. And I knew it was from him, because the only time Spirit usually gives me songs is either for a message. This was just different. I knew it was from my DM because we exchanged music. He showed up early in the energy, and he did a lot of healings on me yesterday, which I needed so bad. And he kept singing this to me. Okay. Like I kept hearing it. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Now, isn't that enough? And I realized like I could cry. I'm like, yeah, I did. I got out of love because I was hurt so badly, and he is helping heal that. He's helping to remind me, to show me who we are, to show me what is important right now. Okay. And so, you know, Spirit did kind of tell me that people were becoming afraid because of what I was posting. And I want to correct that, but not only that. Okay. I'm going to kind of explain to you guys the things that I talk about. So I told you the Bible's fake. I tell you religion is all about religion. It is a rite of passage to ascend. Okay. It really, really is. Now I want to go over these lyrics just a little bit before I show you this other video. Okay. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what that means for you and what is important to understand in the end of days. Okay. Because look, urgent final days events count down to the end. This is what I talk about. And that's why people get afraid, because when they watch my videos, they realize I'm the one who brought it about. And that's not normal. Okay. But the thing is we have power. We have free will. Okay, and I talk about that a lot. We have free will. Now, the song my DM gave me, I want you to listen to this. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. And then it says, everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. So he's telling me this is what we need. We lack this a little bit, okay? Because of who I am, he and I can provide this in a very big way. Okay. And this is what my DM gave me yesterday. And that's a lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. Okay. Now in my videos, I talked about no one's going to save you. I realized that everything I was saying is in line with what they're saying. I was just not coming from a place of love because I had not gotten, it was not good at what had happened to me. Okay. And I'm sorry, as a human being still, I can only do so much. Okay. So I needed this. I needed this more than anything. Now I want you guys to really, truly pay attention, because Spirit works very subtly. There's a lot of detail in what God does. Okay. Then the verse goes, I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. Now, what this means to me is we have to heal our shadows, never walk in anyone's shadow. What the ascension is the breakdown of John the Apostle, this darkness, this shadow that was created all over this planet. And the free will is either you choose darkness or you choose light. Light is a higher vibration. Darkness is a lower vibration. This is in all of my videos, but my DM put it so fucking beautifully in one little song. Like, I'm like, oh my God. And I wonder if Whitney Houston really understood what she was singing. I could cry. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. Every time I say the words, I hear the song. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I lived as I believe. Okay. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. This is important. Okay. And this is a gift from my DM, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. Now I take some of this personal because I hope he thinks that we are the greatest love of all for each other. I really do hope that, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. Now listen to this. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. Now I have said in one of my videos, never to worship. So God was having me talk about Revelations 19:10, I think it was. And I had mentioned never to worship the angels. That's what John the Apostle did. Okay. And then he worshiped a fallen angel and he killed Jesus. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? They murdered him. And then they had Mary Magdalene take his blood in the cup and write a contract in his blood, which became the false Holy Grail. And that's what we had to undo for the resurrection of Christ, for our souls to be united again, which was me and my DM. Okay. Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, they're one and the same. And those are both the roles that we're playing out, because you are actively living out every lifetime right now. Isn't that strange? But you are, because Judgment Day or life review, because you're going through a life review to ascend, has to occur from everything you've ever been through. Is this making sense so far? I really hope it is. Okay. The greatest love of all is happening inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Okay. So I want to rise us up. I said that yesterday. I put out a video. All of a sudden, I could see the love again. And I was like, nope, we need to push the love. Don't ever underestimate me, though. I am highly connected, and I saw what was happening. I just couldn't quite pull myself out of it. I needed healing, and my DM gave me that yesterday. So please don't ever go into judgment on somebody, because if they are hurting, if they're spewing anger, if they're just low, and they usually need healing. Okay. Now, Landria Onkka's video today, I'm going to share that with you just a little bit, because it's funny. All of this is relevant right now. Okay. She talks about some important stuff in here that I think you guys should hear as well. And I'll kind of decipher it a little bit. Now, keep in mind, these people don't know me. That's the crazy part. They don't know me. That's not, what the world? Did you guys see that? I clicked on Landria Onkka video and I got that. I don't know how that happened.
And what is required for you to step into what we call,
let's listen and I'll explain it.
The Great Awakening. We're going to put a few names and labels, but
they don't know
explain
me.
What it is. What is transpiring right now, and absolutely, if you don't do this, it just isn't going to happen for you. And here's why. By the way, 100% choice. It's not.
So that's why people got afraid, because they see what I'm doing. They see that I'm causing these earthquakes and volcanoes and things, because it's real. If you watch my stuff and line it up with science, it's there. It's absolutely real. Once we did the one yesterday, it was earthquake after earthquake after earthquake. Oh, and tornadoes. And I've mentioned that I was causing those a long time ago. Okay. And I have said it's a rite of passage. Okay. And I unfortunately created fear. Do not have fear. Fear is not of God. Now let's listen.
Not something anybody gets locked out of. So are you ready for this? This is going to be pretty powerful for you. You might
People will be locked out.
The consciousness. Maybe a little further than you already are. Are you ready for this? Let's go.
I need to have her be I need to be cute, and I'll wear my hat and I'll do my makeup again and be beautiful. I started working out again. My DM gave me the inspiration to be beautiful and love myself. Okay, so I will do that.
Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fear and live an amazing life. Is dandelion actually a good replacement for coffee? Well, we'll think about that when we get there. All right, here's how it works. We have been programmed so deeply.
Okay, hold on. On my channel, I've talked about Dead Sea Scrolls. Spirit has told me those are the only ones closest to what is happening. And then the book of Revelations talks about the apocalypse of John, okay? So you have to be very careful what information you pick up. Now, this is interesting because listen to what she says. They don't know me. Delaroca and her do not know me. No matter what, I can't get them to pay attention to what I do. But it's funny because they will talk about what I do in the energy after I do it if you pay attention.
With religion, and even the Bible has been messed up 101 times by those in authority who've changed it to conveniently conform to what they wanted. And I mean, this is a fact. And so we don't really know what any of it means anymore. Not truly, not 100%. They've found, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we don't even know all of that content.
So that's why I've been trying to explain to you guys. I have all the answers and I've been trying to give it to you. Fallen angels came down, said, I'm going to take God's power. They manipulated Adam and Eve, and Adam ended up with a false goddess. I wasn't strong enough in that lifetime to divert it. Same thing happened in this lifetime, but I was stronger this time, and my DM still chose not to rise. That is why God said enough. He almost killed me again. He almost killed the ascension again. And I was strong enough to this time withstand it by myself against my own DM. That's what you guys don't know. And then I got a new DM. And God chose him for his heart for a reason. And I'm beginning to see why.
That has been used and manipulated. And what we're experiencing right now is a great awakening means that we have been in unconsciousness believing all these very limiting rules that we have chosen to experience as humans. We're coming out of that and realizing that we really don't have any limits. We're as limited as we choose within a matrix, a game that we're playing. We chose unconsciousness. Now we're going into consciousness.
Why would we do that? Why would we choose this living hell? Because it's essentially what it is. And people think that we're meant to be half dark and half light. And if you even listen to this, I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed. Okay, so what I talk about is you just got to heal the shadow. You got to get rid of the darkness. We got to raise our vibration. Now listen.
Not all of us, and it's probably a very small percentage. Those of you out there that even consider yourself spiritual, there's probably still a lot of thoughts and limitations and things that go on in your head that you experience as the human ego and unconsciousness that separates you still from other people, right and wrong, right? I'm spiritual, but you're not okay because you're not happy, you're in density, you're in the matrix, I'm not. We're all in the matrix.
So that's why I tell you, don't go to judgment. Don't ever assume anybody is less than you or better than you. We are all here together. It's love. The greatest love of all is happening inside of me.
And it goes beyond the planet, because how can extraterrestrials and other planets interact with us if they aren't in the matrix too?
And like I said, when John the Apostle was worshiping angels, I said, in the Bible says, a part of it that God showed me is correct, is that we should never worship the angels because they're created by God. They're fallible. Okay. Which is what happened. We had fallen angels and they almost killed me several times over. They did kill me a few times. Okay. In other lifetimes. It's not a joke. And what I'm undoing is all of that energy. And what like I said, so instead, the way that you worship God. Okay, I've said this before. The way to worship God is to worship yourself, self-love, not this term narcissism. Those are two different things. Narcissism is not love. It's a lack of love. It's still. Do you understand? I know, because I was severely abused by my ex-husband, who is a severe narcissist, and he doesn't even care about his own kids. Okay, that is a lack of love. There's two different things. Self-love is your key to worshiping God. Self-love is one of the keys to ascension. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Entire universes, metaverses, a holographic game created by the one energy. It is everything. You are that, and you are a creator. Now, here's what's going to happen.
You are a creator.
You ready for this? It is absolutely impossible for you to shift into what we call the new earth. The new earth is not another place.
It's right here.
Now, who am I to say that aliens?
So now she goes into aliens. So I've told you guys, I changed the earth so much that this is the new earth. I split off into an older earth in one of my videos. If you watch that, from the time I undid the false concept of time, I think I did create another earth, and that's where they go out of this one. They will leave this planet and be reborn into that one that is not of the light. So you don't leave this planet to ascend, but she still isn't quite sure about all of it. So let's listen.
Will come pick up a small group that passed the DNA test and actually are peaceful and take them to another planet.
Did you hear that? Everything I do is bringing DNA activations into this planet. I've changed the crystalline grid. I have filled it with DNA activations, Christ light. And I said the way for you to receive them is this, this, and this, and this. How do you receive those DNA activations? Healing. That's why those that do my workshops are separated from the collective whole, because they get all the healings they need to ascend.
I'm not here to say that's not going to happen. However, I do know that all dimensions exist at all times. They always have.
Wait, let's go back on that. I want to hear that just for a second, because yesterday, if you watch my live on what happened in my workshop, I said there is a mothership. Some call it the mothership, but it's a docking station. And a lot of times in my healings, I will take the people in my workshops to this docking station while I do the work to the earth, because I'll crack open the earth. We will cause fires. I will cause earthquakes. I will cause volcanoes to erupt. And I take them out of the earth and put them in this docking station. She's talking about aliens. So I find this very interesting and relevant. This video was just posted like today. Yeah, 6 hours ago. And I mentioned yesterday in my video about my workshop that they moved the docking station and they were going to let themselves be known very soon. I also mentioned they were going to push fear for an alien warfare, and it's not true. We are already all like aliens, basically. So I find this very interesting.
Another planet. I'm not here to say that's not going to happen. However, I do know that all dimensions exist at all times. They always have. And that if you're not in a certain frequency, you don't shift into that dimension, that existence. That holographic experience is what it is. It's another holographic experience.
So the other day, right before my DM got another chance to do that, I had said, nobody's going to save you. We have to save ourselves. So if you are stuck in a low vibration, you are the creator. Like no superhero. I've already saved you. It's through free will for you to step out of that darkness. This is the keys. They're all right here, but there should be no fear because you are a creator and it's through free will. Okay. Granted, they do a heart review. All right. But just my DM still had a choice to heal. Do you understand?
Because anything that transforms is just the one energy. What it transforms into is a temporary illusion, right? Because if it transforms, then that's not what it is. It's everything. If you transform out of this body, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. You must be the energy that creates it and animates it and then transforms into something else. So we're not humans. We are just illusions of a human. And we are the actual energy behind it.
That must be her phone.
Right? Not the creator over everything. You are the creator, as is everything.
So do you understand that? That's why some people will get confused and go, I am God. No, you're not God, but you have God inside you. Spirituality says God is inside you. Now, what does my DM gave me in that beautiful song, right? What does Whitney Houston sing about? The greatest love of all is happening to me. The greatest love of all is inside of me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. How do we shift into a higher frequency? Learn to love yourself and let go of everything that is not that. And I'm getting chills.
Do not shift into high frequency of total awareness, consciousness. That means not having to have answers. The ego wants answers. The ego names things, says this is how it is. All right. When you let go of all of it and know that you can't possibly know everything, and you're okay with that, you can't possibly know why somebody acts a certain way, and you're okay with their journey. You don't have to be okay with the actions within your holographic.
That's why I tell you, do not judge. Judgment's not of God. Fear is not of God. Anything like ego, all of those things that are not of God are what you are responsible for healing yourself out of. That is the rite of passage. There should be no fear. Am I bringing about death in some ways? Yeah, but do we all die? Yes. And in this lifetime, you may not get to ascend if you don't do this, okay? But what does fear do for you? Nothing. Nothing. Teach them well and let them lead the way. So I also want to tell you guys that by you choosing to heal, you cause others to heal. By you choosing to go within and love yourself, it's a ripple effect to everybody else. And I was not pushing that properly. And my DM reminded me in the most beautiful way. And I was never really a Whitney Houston fan, but let me tell you, he is making me be a fan of some music big time. Okay. Like he's a special person. And I'm so thankful God gave him to me, because I asked the other day that he would just love us. Like we needed his love, and that's what we're getting. And the key for you guys is love yourself so much that you let everything else go.
Let's just say play.
And you cannot force anybody else. It's free will. God does not go against free will.
You participate as an actor in that. But
Did I just
when
hear
you
booing?
realize that
Let's do
they're on
that
a journey
again.
for-
I didn't hear that earlier.
When you let go of all of it and know that you can't possibly know everything, and you're okay with that, you can't possibly know why somebody acts a certain way, and you're okay with their journey. You don't have to be okay with the actions within your holographic, let's just say, play here. You participate as an actor in that. But when you realize that they're on a journey for a specific
Where do these
reason,
noses
they're
go?
contributing to the experience of the one, the creator is experiencing all of these things through all of us, from the darkness to the light. There's no separation in any of it. So that other is you experiencing another facet of itself. So to condemn it.
Okay, that is one thing that people have wrong.
Experience of the one, the creator, is experiencing all of these things through all of us, from the darkness to the light.
That is true. It affects the creator. We've been hurting. Okay, even God has not. The light and the dark do not compute. You cannot have darkness and light. The vibrations don't match. That's why one of the things to ascend is your vibration. If you're stuck in a low vibration of woe is me, nobody cares about me. I got into a place where I was done. It is a vibration. Okay. My DM is pulling me out rapidly. And I'm so thankful. He gave me so much healing. Like, you guys, it's crazy. I needed that. I was out of balance with that. That was what I needed. Okay. And he's giving it to me, and he's going to give it to us all. But there is a separation. And that's what the ascension is about, is separating light from dark, because God says no more. And I said it in my video for the 70 anchoring one, that it will never happen again. Only supreme beings can change and shift what was shifted in the poles. I have shifted it so much they can never change it again. And I did it in 3 years, where it took them lifetimes to do it. So don't get caught up and you don't have time. Do it now. Just be in love. Heal yourself. Be love. Share love. Give love. Let's do this. Let's give that wave of love. Thanks to my DM.
Separation in any of it. So that other is you experiencing another facet of itself. So to condemn it would keep you in a low frequency, which means you cannot, it is impossible for you to experience the penthouse if you're down in the basement. It's impossible.
So what she's trying to say is, don't accept it, but don't condemn it. Don't have judgment. And you can't beat the shadow with the shadow. And I said that in my shadow course. I do have a shadow workshop that actually heals your entire shadow. It's not a layered shadow healing. It heals the individual and the collective shadow. Okay. Because of this, it teaches you, you cannot go against the shadow with pieces of the shadow. So if I'm going to look at the shadow and go, fuck you, shadow, what are you doing? Are you healing it? No. Or are you looking at other people going, ha ha ha, they suck, they're not going to ascend? Or are you in fear? That's part of the shadow too. Are we getting it? Is it making a little bit more? Thank you, DM. We needed this love. Let me tell you.
So you have to fire up that frequency. That means the higher up you go, the more you go into oneness, you drop the judgment, and you realize you don't have the answers. You're human. You're just going to absolutely do your best to contribute in a positive way without imposing things on other people. So one of my students said, so
that's exactly what I said. Do your best. Don't impose. You cannot go and tell somebody, hey, you need to wake up. The world is ending. They're just going to look at you like you're crazy. And it's just like in my video yesterday, I did a message for one of my followers, and I told him how to help his brother. And you cannot spew anything. Okay, it's through energy. If you are in an energy of healing and love, and that is what we want to spew around, and that is what is going to go around. I decided long ago to never walk in anyone's shadows. Do you see what I'm saying? Is it making sense?
We just sit back and not do anything. I said, no, we'll absolutely contribute as much as possible. And then those who will benefit and receive it, that's a great exchange. When you're imposing something on somebody who doesn't want it because you think they're wrong in how they're living or what they're doing, you're imposing things on them. Then you're infringing on free will, and that's your ego wanting things to be different.
See what I'm saying? And I noticed the other day when I woke up and I'm like, we got to save ourselves. Somebody got mad at me and unfollowed. They disliked my video and they left my channel. Why? Okay, because they weren't liking that. They're wanting to impose their feelings, their thoughts on other people. When what you need to realize is we are the creators. So if I'm suffering, I'm going to pull myself out of that suffrage. I did. That's how I woke up. That's how I had my awakening, all of it. Nobody has ever saved me. I've saved myself. My DM tried to kill me. Do you know what that's like for your twin flame? And he didn't do it consciously. He did it subconsciously because of the fallen angel attacks. Okay, so I want to clear that. But he really did kill me in another lifetime. And he tried to do it again in this one. Do you know how hard it is to go against your twin soul? It's damn near impossible. And I had to do it. And it took great strength. Okay. We can, and it was his free will. God gave him his free will. He signed a contract. He made it to where you can't live outside of that contract. And so you have free will, step up or step out. And he chose to step out, and I got the most beautiful DM instead. And I'm thankful, honestly. Okay. So we have to let people live and let die if they want to. But here's what I'm going to do is we need to teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be.
Now, if they're doing things that are destructive, yes, then we have to come up with solutions for that, all right? We do have to take some actions. And that's a fine line. Well, how do we do this without allowing, things to go on? We don't have to. That's why I said you don't have to be around. Congratulations to the woman who told her daughter, I'm not going to watch the kids when you go back to work. I have my own life. I politely said that. People will oppose. Egos get very upset when they don't get their way. And you can't be responsible for their consciousness. If they never come into it, as long as you're loving and open and you let them know that you're there for them and you're not judging it, but this is how things are, you're okay. So we have to absolutely draw some lines and have some rules. Now, you can still go into super high frequency and be that person. What does that mean? That means you can be all loving and compassionate without being a rug, all right? Because you're still playing the role as a human, which means as a human, you have to be in the matrix until you leave here. That means...
No. Okay, so let's correct that. The matrix is falling, and either you fall with it or you rise out of it. And she's helping giving you some of the keys too, which is what I've been saying, but she's saying it a little bit different. And my DM's helping me say it out of love now because I never got that love. So I'm very, very happy. I need the balance of my DM, and he did exactly what I asked for. He gave us the love, and I want to share that lens of love, but I want to empower you guys to know how to do this. How do I help my family? I have talked in my videos too that, my parents, my mom, my dad died, but my mom and my brother, I never thought they'd be able to ascend either. Yet and I never pushed anything on them. I barely told them about what I do or who I am. And eventually they started asking me. Eventually they actually asked for healings. And eventually my mom even got my shadow healing course the other day. And I cried. I'm like, thank you, God. But it's because I just kept rising. I kept doing what I was doing, and I kept loving them regardless.
Challenges will continually present themselves. Otherwise, why would we be here? We have this amazing existence outside of our bodies. We're not in this density. We're in density right now. So in order to go into that new existence within the unconsciousness of the human experience, we have to raise our frequency within it, even though we're still in density. So you don't escape the density. Even if you are in a super high awakened state, you're still in a dense body on a planet with people who are doing some cray stuff.
And that's true, except for when you're doing the healings, like especially with me, we get DNA activations. And I say in there all the time is you are no longer a part of the collective soul. You have now separated yourself from the collective soul because we are now higher frequency beings. My DM and I have over 1,000 chakra systems. We are direct descendants from the one. I know that if you watch the video where my DM died, because I put that on my channel from August 30th, my new DM, immediately when he got that soul, God spent time to activate and give him all his chakras. Okay, because I already spent a year waking my DM up out of the darkness. So you see what I'm saying? So we are meant to rise out of the matrix. We are meant to heal ourselves and activate our dormant DNA, what was already rightfully ours. And that is why they pushed the V so hard, because it cuts you off from that DNA. It changes your DNA structure and cuts you off from source. Don't believe me? Maybe you won't wake up.
Right? So this is the
Not
game.
for
You've got to
scary.
hang in there and say, you know what? It's going to be uncomfortable. There are going to be days when you're just going to want to quit. You don't even want to be here, right? It's tough to watch things. It's tough to hear people argue. And it's tough to watch the media and know that people believe this stuff and that everything's so programmed. Just watch commercials over here. It's one vaccine after another. It's just one after another for things that you might get. You know, one in a billion shot you might get it. So let's just keep, and it's just this constant programming of what we do and what we should do. Fast food. All I ever see is people stuffing their faces with garbage.
And I'll fall prey to fast food too sometimes because I'm so tired I don't want to cook. So we have to watch that. It's true. It's a constant push of the program. It's a constant push of the matrix. You have to be strong enough within yourself to love yourself enough to step out of it. Because I found the greatest love of all inside of me.
That's toxic. And we show that this is fun and amazing. And it's just constant brainwashing. So you have to shut it down. You don't even want to expose yourself to that. So if you see commercials, just turn the sound off or change the channel to something. And you have to protect yourself because you are absolutely in that lower existence.
All right, Landria, do away with some of your clapping and cheering, just some of it. If you did like one or two throughout, it'd be better. That's just my opinion. But at the same time, I need to up my game, right?
That does existence with others. So you're going to be challenged. You just don't go on, oh, I'm awakened and I don't have to work at it anymore. You have to work at it every single day.
Yes.
The requirements are that you have to go with complete love and compassion. No one is allowed in that world without it. Because if they were.
Did you hear that? The requirements are you have to go into complete love and compassion. Nobody is allowed in that earth without it. Because that's not God. Do you understand? So the new earth is God's earth. I've talked about it. I took it back. It's my planet. I am the one it was created for. So it's my DM, Adam and Eve. Okay. Jesus and Mary Magdalene are the same as Adam and Eve. It's just different lifetimes played out. You getting it now? Is it starting to make sense? I really hope this is waking up a lot of people and that it's more about love. All right. If we can't get to a vibration of love, that's why I say nobody's going to save you. Let's do this. You got to rise above. How do you call in your twin flame? Stop focusing on your twin flame and start focusing on yourself with love. And I had gotten so low because of my DM journey and twin flame journey. I needed him to help me out, and he did. And I'm so you want to talk about redemption? I was given beautiful gifts last night. Okay. So let's give each other gifts.
We'd start up again, arguing, and you're right, you're wrong, you're not behaving the way I think you should, or you're not awakened. I want you to be awakened. Yes, it wasn't. Don't have to hang out with them. So are you ready to go into that world? Because we're doing it right now, and it is going to be in your face. So you're going to get a lot of reminders of what you need to work on. That's going to be big time. So a lot of events going to happen, some very big things going to test us to say, okay, if you think you're all that, we're going to be tested again.
Yes.
And that is once you go into that high frequency, it's not a test anymore.
Do you see? We are tested until we learn the lessons. That's how God's like, are you sure? Let's try again. Are you sure? Let's try again. My DM, he kept doing it with him. It was a very long, drawn out process because it's like we wait till the very, very, very end to make sure that your heart is blackened completely and there's no way out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You just see it for what it is and you experience it and you use it as an opportunity to be the facilitator of positive change.
So do you like the world you're living in? They knew this was coming, so they wanted to change your DNA through the V's. That's exactly what they were doing. That's why they were pushing it so hard out of fear. And they're going to do it again. And they're going to do it again with an alien warfare as the mothership is starting to expose herself. She's not a mothership. She's a docking station. Why would the docking station expose herself? Because they're getting to know us that are staying here. And I've said that in my 7D frequency workshop. Okay. They're staying here. They're a part of our existence now. They will not be in the shadows anymore. A lot of things can't remain in the shadows anymore. And you can see how much they raped you and hurt us and killed us and poisoned us and tried to change your DNA from God. Don't get angry. Change.
You have to be the facilitator instead of the complainer. You have to be the inventor instead of the criticism of what exists now. So if you don't like something, be the inventor, the change, for the new way. It doesn't harm children or animals. You have to be the facilitator, the new way. It's very difficult to do that. I'm going to tell you that. But it's more difficult to live in this stuff and know that you didn't do anything, or that you went along with things, or that you knew darn well that every plastic bottle you're drinking out of is going to be in that, huge size of a country floating around out there, killing. You have to take responsibility. We have to do everything in our power to change this and to stop participating in it. And if you don't, you cannot. It is impossible for you to go into that high frequency. What happens after that? Well, your guess is as good as mine.
I know. Spirit shows me exactly what we're going into. It's expansive. If you can't expand, you can't go. If you can't expand, if you can't get the DNA activations and all this, and look, my DM had such a good heart that God chose him to be my partner, to be the king and the ruler of the planet, of the free world. It's a king and queen kingdom. That's what it was always supposed to be. That's what the darkness came and took out and snuffed out for years and tried to change all of you and take you from God. Don't get angry. Be the changer. Be the creator. Get out of that matrix. Is it easy? Just like she said, hail to the no, it ain't easy. Okay. It's not easy. So I encourage you guys, you can watch her. She still doesn't have all the answers. They don't even know who I am, you guys, but these are star seeds. She is a star seed. Okay. She's doing exactly what she is supposed to do. Same with Delaroca. Okay. He is a part of the 144,000. So he is actually filled with Christ's light because I brought it. I activated the 144,000. He is in the twin flame unions just below the ones that I am in. So he is also a twin flame. He's very, very connected, but he talks about everything that's in the energy that I do as well. And again, these people don't know me. Okay. The rapture, solar flash. In my workshop yesterday, again, I took the sun and I poured it into the core of the earth. And then we took DNA and we activated it in the chakra systems for those that participated. Do you see what I'm saying? So rather than fear, I want to encourage you all. If you can see me, if you can hear me, you are meant to rise and help others rise. How do we help others rise? Through our mouth? No. Just like I said, we can't do that. Okay, we can't judge. We can't do anything like that. It is truly through healing yourself, loving yourself, stepping out of that matrix yourself. Once you do that and shine your light, not being afraid of who you are is what that means. Don't be afraid to speak your truth, but you don't have to push your truth because you're a beacon at that point. And those that need you, those that can rise because of you, will be doing the same thing. And if they don't, there's nothing you can do because it is free will. And were we hearing God? No, we've been having a hard time hearing God, but I'm going to do it the right way. And I have a feeling that with my DM and I in balance and pushing love, watch what's about to happen. Okay. So I really do thank my DM. Like I am in so much, I'm not going to really watch this one. You guys can watch that one if you'd like to. Also, if you look at that Schumann resonance, there's no coincidence that happened on the same day. My DM gave all that love and I felt the love and we both were healing and he healed me in a big way. And we changed the planet alignment. We added 3 new planets in our solar system from the Pleiades galaxy. And we added 3 new chakras into those that joined. Okay. Activated them, DNA activations. They're in the earth, but unless you do my workshops, it's going to take you guys a while to get them usually. Okay. Like Landria Onkka even mentioned, the DNA activations, it's so incredible what they can tune into. And if you watch the work that I do, everything I have done is proven. Okay. I'm what they call a supreme being. And Star seeds and light workers should be able to read that energy. I also record everything I do in the Akashic records. This is how they have access to it in a very big way. Do they read the Akashic records? Higher supreme beings, if you tune in regularly, like she said, you have to work at it every day, you become easier and easier at reading those energies. It's a muscle, and I talked about that. It is absolutely a muscle that we must strengthen. If you don't strengthen that muscle, you don't get stronger in it and you become prey. I talked about that. If we don't have spiritual discipline, anything can succumb you. Okay. So and that's what she was talking about. It's like, how do you avoid the fast food and all these things are trying to shove down your throat, and stop believing in the false religion and all of this false stuff? Spiritual discipline. Okay. That is actively flexing your muscle of self-love, healing, and not trying to understand beyond this moment, staying in the here and the now. Okay. That is one thing I talk about. I have said it since day one in my awakening, and the Dead Sea Scrolls, I mention it. This is God's formula. Here and now, now and here, nothing else exists. So much love to you all. I love you so much, and I want to thank my DM. Okay, and I'm going to go out giving the most beautiful song he gave me again. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Try to read these lyrics without singing them, okay? Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. And let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. And now that right there is important to me. I have found the greatest love of all inside of me. Have you? So much love, you guys. Have a beautiful day.